Alright guys, so unfortunately we're going to be taking the engine and trans out of the RetroCab, the 2019 engine and trans, which is the L8453 and the 8090, due to some confusion, because this system works a lot different than the system I'm installing as far as like dash and all with the 2016 stuff. So if you're looking to do a LT swap, do not get a 2019 Plus engine, which is the L84, or it'd be the L87 if it's the 6.2. The L84 is the 5.3. The L87 is the 6.2. Do not get the 2019 Plus engines and trans. I wouldn't really say it's the engine and trans. It's more so the trans. It's really to do with the DFM. If the engine you're looking at has DFM, don't get it, because it's got some extra stuff going on with the transmission. And Sonic's made a big thread on it and talking about it. I'll link it in my description. But basically, the way DFM works is dynamic fuel management instead of active fuel management, which active fuel management, AFM, on the older engines are actually a selected 4 cylinders that get cut off every single time it needs to go in full cylinder mode, and it's only 4 cylinder mode. It doesn't go in like V2, V6, and that's what DFM does. DFM can range from 2 cylinders to 8 cylinders and shut any which cylinders off it wants to kind of work between all cylinders to kind of control the vibration. So with it going down to like 2 cylinders, there's this thing in the transmission and the torque converter where they have different solenoids and added some extra solenoids in the transmission. The torque converter has this extra cushion in place so it wouldn't shake as bad when it goes down and lugs down the engine that much. So a problem I'm running into is I can't control this transmission, and I've been telling y'all that the transmission needs to be rebuilt. Come to find out, I couldn't control it. Like it's a different setup than the older ones, and I have the older, computer and TCM that was trying to run this newer engine and trans, which I had a feeling I was going to run into some issue like this, but I didn't think it was going to be an issue exactly like that. That's crazy, the way they designed these new engines. And after people doing more digging on these new engine and transmissions, these things are starting to come out, and I couldn't find any video explaining this on YouTube, so it's probably the only video you'll see that explains this. So what we're going to do is be pulling this engine and trans back out. We're going to be selling this and then buying an older engine and trans. I'm trying to get a 6.2 8-speed or 10-speed, but no promises, because people are just playing games. Most of the engines and trans are in Texas, and I've tried buying 3 of them already, and nobody seems to want to actually sell the engine and trans. So been trying, people playing games. So if y'all know anybody with a 6.2 8-speed or 10-speed for a good deal, get with me. I'm interested in buying one. I might even buy a 5.3 8-speed or 10-speed for the right deal. Nothing past the 2018, so 14 to 2018 is the only thing I'm looking at, or at least anything with AFM pretty much is what I'm looking for, which is the first. Yeah, I should have did a little more research before I bought this setup. I didn't really think it was going to be different. I bought it, got a good deal on it. I'm just getting into the LT world, so I bought it, got a good deal on it, went and got it, picked it up, swapped it, then wanted to do a dash swap and do all the rest of the stuff and start piecing these things together and run into these issues. So yeah, it's a big mess up, but I posted it, have a couple people interested. Thankfully, the transmission's not messed up like I thought. When I pulled the plug, I did see metal on it. It wasn't like on a magnet, it was more like around the threads. So I'm gonna pull the pan to make sure that it's good to go. There's no metal all up in the pan or nothing like that. It's pretty much for sale. Looking to get $3,000 for it if anybody is interested in doing anything with this thing. I just don't know how it works with controlling the TCM or the transmission side of things. I don't know. It's out of my jurisdiction. I haven't messed with enough of these to even try to learn it. I don't really care. I'm not trying to go that far into this thing anyway. I just want this truck running and driving. 2018 Plus stuff is whatever. I'm hoping somebody buys it to put in their truck that they need an engine in or something like that. I don't know. I need to get it sold so I get this new engine so I can get this thing running and driving. So this thing's gonna pretty much be parked for a little bit until I can get a new engine trans in it, and then try to wire everything up like I was gonna do from there. I also like the idea of putting a 14 to 18 engine and trans in it, because I feel more comfortable with it matching like the dash. I I'm trying to build everything around the 18, so that's what I'm gonna try to do, is try to find an 18 engine and trans. I mean, I'm pretty positive 14 and 18 is all exactly the same, but with GM, you never know. There's always some little thing that's different, and I'm trying to make everything work factory. And next time I know for a fact that I'll be getting a whole truck that's wrecked, and then just take everything from that truck and put it in a new truck instead of piecing it together like this, because this is a big headache. I get this front clip off so we can pull the whole engine trans out at once like we put it in, so we can set it aside. We currently got the coolant draining. That's gonna take a little second to do that, and then we're gonna pull the grill off. And then I just put this thing on here thinking I was gonna be good to go. Gotta pull this thing right back off, pull the whole radiator shroud out, pull the fans, just the whole front clip again. This is gonna suck. All right, so we got the L84 pulled, and we had a guy come to pick it up, so that's why I kind of rushed and pulled it, and he backed out on me. So I have another guy this weekend supposed to come and try to look at it. If not, it is for sale. I want $3,000 for it. I mean, it's L8453, 50,000 miles with the 8L90 trans and transfer case. I have the original harness that came off of it too, and I have a ICT billet power steering bracket I'll include with it as well. But we got it pulled. Now the RetroCab is ready for a new engine and trans setup, and hopefully we'll get that thing running and driving like it's supposed to. Right now it's being neglected until we get a new engine trans for it, and until we sell this one, so we don't have so much stuff going on like I do now. Like we got the mail truck in here that is about to get the turbo. Here's the turbo and all of the turbo stuff in intercooler. So that's gonna be the next build. Whole bunch of content on this to come next, along with the 480 trans I'll be building, put in it when I smoke this 460 in it when I turbo it. We also got a Ranger I'm working on as another little side project that's mine, and yeah, there's a lot going on. So we got the RetroCab outside. I did find one seat as well, so it's a driver's seat for the RetroCab. This one I'm probably not going to use, but I'm going to use it as a mock-up. Somebody already did some welding stuff on it and cut all the wires up, so I'm going to use it as like a mock-up to build the brackets and stuff for the RetroCab. And I'm looking for 2 of these exact color seats. If anyone has any, I'm willing to buy them for, if they're a decent price. I'm not paying $1,500 or $1,000 for 2 seats like some people ask. It's just outrageous. But I am willing to spend some money on these exact color, or maybe a little lighter if you have some. It'd be sick to kind of match my center console. So tune in to see what this stock for it will handle, because it is going to be completely bone stock. Just basically going to bolt on this kit and send it and see how long the trans lasts, see how long the diffs last, and see how long the engine lasts.